guys, it's Emily, and I thought I would kick off my March Mystery Madness videos by talking about my mystery reading taste, particularly my complicated relationship with mystery series. I'm filming this in the middle of February, and I've just finished picking out my March Mystery Madness TBR, which you will have already seen. And as I was picking out my books, I was thinking about why I don't gravitate towards mysteries that are a part of a series, and also why I have trouble finishing series. So first off, I want to say that I have read a few mystery series and completed some. Most notably, I've read and adored all 6 books of the Dublin Murder Squad series by Tana. I've also read most of the Cormoran Strike series by Robert Galbraith and all of the Jane Austen mysteries by Stephanie Barron. I also recently enjoyed the first 2 books in the Perveen Mistry series by Sujata Massey, and I'll definitely be picking up the 3rd book whenever it comes out. But overall, my mystery series reading tends to consist of me reading the first book in a series and then never following up with any of the other books. Take last year, for example, March Mystery Madness 2020. I read the first book in the Flavia de Luce series by Alan Bradley, the first book in the Veronica Speedwell series by Deanna Raybourn, and the first book in the Magical Bakery series by Bailey Cates. I haven't picked up any of the rest of this series throughout the year, and I only have the 2nd book of the Magical Bakery series on my TBR for this year. I've still got multiple other mystery series from March Mystery Madness's past where I read book 1 and then never continued. The Kopp Sisters series by Amy Stewart, the Inspector Gamache series by Louise and the Murder Most Unladylike series by Robin Stevens. Other series where I've read the first book and never continued on with the next one include the Amory Ames series by Ashley Weaver, the Massey Dobbs series by Jacqueline Winspear, the Amelia Peabody series by Elizabeth Peters, and the Phryne series by Kerry Greenwood. So I was thinking about all these series and wondering why I never feel compelled to pick up the next book. And I know one reason is because I hate waiting for the next book in a series. This trait is reflected across media for me. I rarely watch TV shows while they're actively still running on TV. I prefer to be able to binge watch a show or series if I really love it. But this doesn't account for series like the Inspector Gamache books, where there's now like 22 books that I could read. I was also contemplating the fact that I like my mysteries to be logical in terms of setup. This is again reflected across media. I watched the first few seasons of Father Brown a while back and became increasingly annoyed that the murders kept happening in this one small town. Like, if you had a murder happening every week in your town, you'd be concerned, and you'd probably move away due to the high crime rate. It also annoyed me how we would have never met the murdered person before, and Father Brown would be like, oh, they lived here for years. They were such a beloved member of the community. And it's like, we've never seen this person before. And yes, I know it's because of the show's budget and whatnot, but I'm just too logical to ignore the, weirdness of that. I think that's why I like police procedures. It doesn't make sense that a priest would constantly be solving a mystery, but murder is a police officer's job. And that may account for why series like the Inspector Gamache series or the Murder Most Unladylike series don't inspire me to pick up the next book. The town of 3 Pines and the Dean School for Girls are such tiny settings that the idea that there would be multiple murders there just seems like it wouldn't happen. Even the Jane Austen mysteries started feeling illogical to me by the end. Jane was constantly stumbling across corpses when most people never even stumble across one. In all forms of media, I like things to be short and concise. Like, once again with the TV, I don't actually watch much TV. I'd rather watch a movie that's over in like 2 hours than dedicate hours and hours of time to a show that has multiple seasons. And this is reflected in my reading too. It's not just mysteries. I'm just not a big series person in general. In 2020, I read 95 books, and only 20 of those were part of a series. I'm not worried about being a big series person. It's just interesting when you consider the fact that most people who love mysteries love them because of the series that you could get invested in. It's also interesting when you consider that I don't read mysteries to solve who done it. I rarely guess who the murderer was because honestly, trying to figure it out seems like too much work. I'm sure if I kept careful track of the presented clues, I could probably figure things out at least some of the time, but I don't care enough. I don't even try to solve the mystery most of the time. I just enjoy the ride. So then the question becomes, why do I read mysteries if not to solve the crime? Is it for the characters? And then if it's for the characters, you think I would love series since I'd be able to get invested in the characters. I was thinking about why I love the Dublin Murder Squad series so much. For one thing, everybody who is solving a mystery in the series is a cop, so it makes sense that they're involved. Another thing is that all of the books are related, yet each one has a different narrator. I really like that aspect. The books also really get into the characters' head, like talking about their past, why they joined the murder squad, etc. I think most mysteries do this to an extent, but the Dublin Murder Squad just makes it really compelling and interesting. Each character seems real. I think one reason I read mysteries is because usually they're pretty quick to get through, and that's nice when you're in a reading slump. I usually get a lot of books read in March. You also don't have to think too much while you read them, or at least I don't, since I'm not trying to solve the crime. I also do like seeing new places and different kinds of characters through reading mysteries. I don't think it matters that I'm not a huge series person, different strokes for different folks and all that. I just find it interesting. I have more first books on my TBR for this March Mystery Madness, and I'm looking forward to them. Frankly, there's so many mysteries and mystery series out there that it doesn't really matter if I never find any more series that I want to read all the way through. I'm always learning about more mysteries. When I filtered my TBR on Storygraph to show only the mysteries so that I could pick my TBR, there were like 50 books to choose from, and I'm sure I'll find more while watching TBRs this year. So let's chat about all this. Are you a big series person? Why do you like series? Why do you like to read mysteries? Do you have any series recommendations for me? Do you think I'm strange for not liking series? Let me know your thoughts down below. I hope everybody's reading some great mystery books for March Mystery Madness, and you're keeping safe and healthy. And I'll be back next week with my first mystery history talk of the season. Bye!